would I buy a rental property with negative cash flow. So every single month, the property is negative and it's costing me money in order to keep the property. I would not buy a property with negative cash flow. I think I would buy a rental property that maybe had razor thin, like almost zero cash flow, maybe $50 a month or $25 a month. I would do that, but if it was costing me $100 or more a month, I would not. So I'll answer it in a couple of different ways. So I wouldn't because there are going to be things that go wrong with the property over time. So there's going to be some maintenance, there's going to be repairs. There's going to also, what we've learned is best case scenario doesn't happen every single day. So I could be running my numbers wrong and my forecasting for repairs could be a little off. So if I'm already paying $100 or a couple $100 a month in order to keep this property, it could potentially cost me even more than that. So because repairs and maintenance are going to happen, that's just going to happen. Plus, we might be incorrect at our forecasting and repairs, or maybe a tenant doesn't pay, for a month or two, or just 2 weeks. That can really significantly affect you. So if you're already going into the property with negative, then it's almost certain that it's going to get worse. Yeah. And I would buy a property that had, maybe it was par, so I didn't have any cash flow, or maybe it was just, under $50 a month. Because especially if I had extra reserves for that property, I think that's how I would counterbalance that. So if I was breaking even, every single month, but the tenant was paying my debt off. It was a highly rentable area. It was a great location. I had a more than qualified tenant. I had 3-4 months of expenses saved up in a separate bank account for that property. I would, because all the benefits over time, especially with rent growth and appreciation, tax benefits, and the tenant paying off my debt, I personally feel that all that counterbalances just having a little bit of cash flow versus making $500 or $1,000 or thousands of dollars a month in cash flow. But that's what I would do. Every situation is not the same, so I wouldn't necessarily say that on every single property. But again, in most cases, if it was a great location, people are moving there, there's a lot of jobs, and it's a highly rentable location. So that means within 30 days, I could have multiple applications, if not even within 2 weeks. I could have multiple applications of qualified tenants that would be applying for my rental property. So that's what I would do in those two situations.